In problem number 2, Jose is considering what sandwich to buy for lunch. He has a choice of 2 different types of bread, 3 different types of cheese, and 4 different types of meat. For any sandwich, he must choose one type of bread and either one type of cheese or one type of meat, or one type of cheese and one type of meat. How many different sandwiches can he choose? So a lot of this problem is in decoding this sentence here for any sandwich, etc. But what we basically see is that Jose can choose 2 different types of sandwiches. He can have a sandwich that has bread and either cheese or meat, or he can have a sandwich that has bread and cheese and meat. So what we need to find out is how many different possibilities there are for each of those and then to add them together. So under option 1, Jose can choose one type of bread and either one meat or one cheese. So since there are 2 types of bread and there are a total of 7 different options for filling, there are 3 cheeses and 4 meats. So that means for each of the types of bread, you could put 7 different fillings in there. So if you have 2 breads, you're going to have 2 times 7, or 14 different options for sandwiches. So that's the first option that he has, one type of bread and either one meat or one cheese. With the second option, Jose can choose one of the 2 types of bread, one of the 3 types of cheeses, and one of the 4 types of meat. So there are 2 types of bread, and for every type of bread, you can have 4 different choices for cheese. So that would make 3 different types, 3 different choices for cheese. So that would make 2 times 3, or 6 sandwiches at this point. But for each of those 6 sandwiches that include a unique bread and a unique cheese, or a different combination of bread and cheese, for each of those 6 choices, you can put in 4 different types of meat into each of those. So you're going to wind up with 6 times 4, or 24 different sandwiches that can be made. And so that leaves 2 types of bread times 3 types of cheese times 4 types of meat, which gives you 24 different sandwich options there. So finally, we need to take the 14 and the 24, and that's equal to 38. And so our answer is C. And this is what is called the counting principle. If you have 2 types, 2 things you can choose for option 1, 3 things that you can use for option 2, and 4 things you can use for option 3, then the total number of options that you can get is 2 times 3 times 4. And this can be represented by a tree diagram or other types of representations that can help you make an organized list of all the possibilities. Of course, once you get to a number of them, then it's hard to represent it visually, and you should have this model built up so that you can just do multiplication here. It's 2 times 3 times 4. And in this particular case, I won't go into showing how to make that tree diagram or how to make an organized list, but you could probably do that and get all 38 options without knowing how to do the multiplication, but the multiplication certainly makes it a simpler problem for you. Okay?